the obvious answer and what's just likely the answer is Kevin McGonigal. I mean, impressive specific. Like, he's been the best Tiger, at least of the position players, but just in terms of the impressiveness of it, being 21 years old, clearly just taking over as the best bat on the team. Pretty small-framed dude, yet still has this power to just crush fastballs. We're 16 games in, and people don't even want to pitch him fastballs anymore because when you pitch him a fastball in the zone, he's just crushing it. Finally hits his first home run yesterday. It's not like he's lacked power, exit velocity since then. Just doesn't really chase pitches. There's not a lot of swing and miss. The swing and miss rate is at 11.7%. That's incredible. Like, just amongst the best in baseball. 406 average versus fastball this year. He's just obviously been the most impressive player. It really just comes down to who else has been extremely impressive, because McGonigal is just, I thought of this segment because I wanted to highlight a couple guys, but at the end of the day, anything but McGonigal is just the wrong answer.
It feels like cheating if you don't say he's been the most impressive, because he just has been. But I think the word impressive plays with relative to expectations. Like, what did you expect out of guys this year? And
we could have put the expectations a mile high for this kid, and he still succeeded.
That's what I was going to say. Like, we still had the expectations for McGonigal, and I think some of the other guys that you could answer for this question did not have the expectation that Kevin McGee had. He also has exceeded them, and he's the best hitter on the team. So that's what I would go with. I think that there is 3 other possible answers here, and I'm going to highlight the one that I think that maybe you won't go with.
Sure.
The one pitcher that I think I will throw on this list, I think Kiter Montero deserves some love, man.
Wow.
I really do. Like, I know it's only been 2 starts, so, like, it's a very limited sample. Kind of difficult to pick him.
It's one less than everybody else.
But also think about the situation he got thrown into. Like, could be a back-end starter for a lot of different teams in baseball. They brought in Justin Verlander and Framber Valdez, and Jackson Jobe gets injured, and Troy Melton is injured, and yet Montero still is not in the starting rotation.
Yeah, for the 5th year in a row, they're like, hey, we'll call you when
you're
need.
Fine. Like, that's got to take a toll on a guy's mental, especially a pitcher who already, like, a lot of that stuff is mental. It's just their game in general.
And a guy who's proven, not that he can ever be an ace, but
should be an everyday starter. Yes, he is a major league starting pitcher, correct. And yet he fits this kind of hybrid role for Detroit, gets tossed into this Sunday night baseball game when it's supposed to be Justin Verlander pitching on Easter. All the Tigers fans are probably pissed that it's not Verlander, it's Kiter Montero. Has a pretty good outing, and then follows it up with another home Friday night outing to start off a series where the Tigers need a win desperately. They just got swept by Minnesota, of all teams, and Montero comes out and deals. Like, that's impressive to me. As far as
Shuts him down.
He's been put in 2 really difficult spots in both of his starts so far this season, and has been way better than you could have expected so far.
Yeah, that's not someone that I had written down, but I'm glad you brought him up because, he had a shutout. He gave up 1 less run than Tarek Skubal did this weekend. And
2 hits.
We thought Skubal had one of the best outings. He did have his best outing of the year.
He had a shutout and threw 1 walk and actually got Ks. Like, it was it might have been the best outing of Montero's career, honestly.
Ks for Kiter. I'll go to Dingler. I know we mentioned that guy a little bit earlier on, but just to jump into some of the more advanced numbers, because he 3 home runs, tied for the most in the team, second amongst American League catchers this year. One stat that really popped out to me in the advanced numbers, he's in the 95th percentile for launch angle sweet spot, which essentially means he's not flying out and he's not getting ground outs. He's hitting the ball and it's right off the bat, line drives.
Perfect, you could say, in MLB The Show.
Sure, perfect. I've never played the game. Actually, I take that back. I played the game once, and I was down like 9-0 after the first inning.
I didn't get any perfect.
It was not fun at all. Probably the least fun I've ever had playing a video game. 95th percentile for that, which I thought was really intriguing. That was the stat that for the first part of last season was just off the charts for Zach McKinstry, who ended up being an all-star because of it, because all of his contact was just nice line drives, nice piece of contact. And the fact that that's also coming with home runs is really impressive. 3 home runs this year, 1 against the fastball, 1 against an off-speed, and 1 against a breaking ball. So he's seeing everything pretty well at the plate, and then obviously behind the dish, he's been incredible with the ABS. 9 for 10 on challenges. That's the highest success rate of any catcher that has more than 6 attempts at the ABS. Shout out Riley Green, who still doesn't know that thing exists.
What's ABS?
And he also has the second best WAR on the team. It's early, but now we're starting to separate, who's helping out the team, who's not. By the way, Kevin McGonigal just casually leading the team in WAR. But Dingler right behind him in that second spot. I think, you and I picked Colt Keith. You picked Kevin McGonigal as the X factors that were going to propel this offense forward. And then with 2 weeks left in the season, you and I both looked at each other like, why is no one talking about Dylan Dingler? And I almost wish we would have been beating that drum through all of spring training rather than just the last 10%.
3 for 3. That would have been crazy.
He's been sensational to start the season.
Yeah.
I get really upset when he's not in a top 5 spot in the lineup.
Who's hitting cleanup this weekend.
Right.
Pretty crazy. Yeah, no one has been all around better on both sides of the baseball than
That's
Dylan
a good
Dingler.
way to put it.
He has been the best as far as contributing defensively and as a bat. No doubt he's number one in that ranking. You can have your ranking for offense and defense, whatever it is, but yeah, he's been so effective across all 9 innings, whatever side of the baseball you're on so far. So yeah, it's weird because he broke out last year. Last year was his breakout season. He was a Gold Glover. He became when you talk about the future of the catcher position for Detroit, man, it was really in limbo for quite some years. You had no idea who really was going to be the future catcher. I don't think many people thought Dingler was the guy who's going to be the next decade-long catcher for the Tigers. And then you have these other prospects. They trade for Tyrone Lorenzo a couple years ago. Josue Briseño is this big top guy. And Dingler, just no doubt about it, is that guy. And it's awesome to see that. He is breaking out again. It's like when the guy wins most improved player in the NBA and yet he's a candidate again to win it the next year. That's what Dylan Dingler's doing right now because he's breaking out again. This time it's just much more on offense.
Yeah, I don't think it's all that crazy to say he can be an all-star this year. Just if you're the best, putting up the best stats at the catching position, there's not a whole lot people can do to keep you out of it. And especially if the home runs are coming with it as well.
And I think the ABS stuff is going to be a factor, at least for
sure.
Specifically for catchers. They're going to look just like how you're looking at their offensive numbers. Well, how good are they at the ABS? Are they hitting that at a great hit rate? I think that's interesting.
I would say amongst those catching stats that we like to look at, frame rate and the caught stealing stuff that Dingler's always been good at, the ABS has to be right up there with a top 3, top 4 catching stat that you can look at.
It happens much less,
catchers.
Obviously, than the frame rate stuff is every pitch.
But it's so important because you lose out on a challenge, and it's okay, we got 1 left or we got 0 left the rest of the way for our hitters.
Dan Dickerson and Jason Benetti both love to bring up the importance of, counts in an at-bat, how much the percentage of a guy getting on base changes, whether it's 0-1 or 1-0 and stuff like that. And so that's why the ABS really does come into play. So, yeah, all of those things, because Dingler, he also last year was the fastest gun time from home to second.
He was the fastest pop time, yeah.
Yeah, and I think he had the fastest arm, too. I think he threw it the hardest down to second. So, he has all of those advanced stats already in his favor. ABS is not an advanced stat. It's you can just look. Is he getting it right or is he getting it wrong? And if he's getting it right, I think that's going to help his case, too.
Yeah, Dickerson was making a good point on the broadcast yesterday where it's even though Skubal's a lefty, nobody ever tries stealing second on him, and he doesn't have a good pickoff move either. But his fastball just makes it so quickly to the plate, and then Dingler's so fast at popping up and getting the throw down to second base.
Good luck.
Have fun trying to get a steal off on Skubal. It just doesn't happen very often because Dingler's always catching for him. And that was about 25% of the way through last year, maybe even less, that they just committed to Dingler catching to Skubal the rest of the way. Every Skubal start
because it was always a big
Dingler.
deal that Rogers and Skubal were together. They had done so many starts in a row.
And once they made that flip, we probably could have just done a better job of seeing the future of oh yeah, this is Dingler the rest of the way then.
But it's hard to do that when you have these guys that are talked about so highly in the minor leagues. Guess what? We got a guy in the major leagues doing it right now. I don't want to think about those other guys.
Well, I'll think about the other guy because he also plays first base, which is also someone I'll just bring up. It's not the answer for the most impressive start to the season. But Torkelson's on base. I know it's not the answer. I'm just bringing it up simply because I think it's worth noting. 373 on base percentage is not nothing for Spencer Torkelson. For as bad of sue me, I still like average sometimes. I still like to bring up average.
Cancel him.
213 average is obviously not very good, but the 20% walk rate, 11 walks this year, second most on the team, and also the 18th percentile chase rate. The 98th percentile chase rate. Couldn't read my chicken scratch. 98th percentile chase rate. He's just not swinging at anything outside of the zone. He's had a good eye for as poorly as he's hit the baseball. He's not the answer, but I just wanted to throw that out there that he's making really good decisions at the plate at least.
Sure, he's got more walks and hits, and that's not a good thing.
You're right. It's not.
And also, the on-base percentage for how little of hits he has is nice. The guy also hit 30 home runs last year.
And not a great defenseman.
He has 0 right now. Come on. That can't be the case. So, yeah, it's a good sign. It makes you feel not 100% out on the guy, but
I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
I'll do the same thing with Riley Green,
It's the lone positive thing about Torkelson, so sure.
I'll do the same thing with Riley Green before we get to our true last candidate, just to play devil's advocate for him, because I feel like he's just going to be used as the scapegoat going forward with any Tiger struggle. It's just hey, he's not hitting home run. Okay. But you know what he is doing well? Getting to first base. 16 games he's played, 16 times he's reached first. That's an impressive stat. He's also 20%. He's made up 20% of his total walks from last season when he had 46. He's already at 9. 20% of his total walks has already been made up this season, and we're only 10% of the way through the season. That's impressive.
You know what the most impressive thing is for Riley Green? Now that he has hit the home run, because, his OPS just got jacked up by finally hitting a home run, so you know that's going to continue. You go to the MLB strikeout leader page, I'll go to the American League strikeout leader page. Man, I got to go to the next page to find Riley Green's name. He's not even on page 1. That's the most impressive thing.
Obviously, you'd like him to have more home runs, more doubles for that matter, too. And he's not the answer for who's been the most impressive. But I thought he deserved his flowers for that specific thing because he's been great at that specific thing this year. Getting on base. Hey, you know what you want? Your best player to get on base. Even though he's probably the second best player on the team.
He truly is a candidate for least impressive.
Yeah. He's impressive in ways we didn't think he would be.
Sure. Very least impressive in ways that we thought he would be good.
The real final candidate for most impressive player, which honestly, relative to expectation, might just be the answer, is Colt Keith. What a sensational start this guy's had to his career, where he has notoriously started out ice cold in March and the beginning of April. No home runs yet, which lowers that OPS this early in the season, but did have a 414-foot dead center hit in Arizona that would have been a home run in 27 of the 30 ballparks. So it's not like he hasn't had good contact, but you pull up his baseball savant page and it's just dark red, dark red, dark red, dark red, dark red. 98th percentile squared up percentage, 93rd percentile chase rate. He's not 96th percentile hard hit rate, which the fact that that's that high and he doesn't have any home runs this season, pretty good sign. 97th percentile exit velo average. He's crushing the ball. It just hasn't left the park yet. And he's doing it with great contact and getting on base at a really high rate.
Yeah, Keith is actually probably the real.
It is McGonigal, but Keith is probably second.
It is McGonigal, but yeah, I think you got to take Keith out of this. It's what Gary in the YouTube chat says. He says, yeah, Colt Keith been super impressive. Guy looks like he's ready to hit, calm and in control of the batter's box. Steep change from last year. And
that's the thing, dude. When McGonigal made the roster and Parker was still on it, what was our first thought? What's going on? Where's Colt Keith going to play if it's going to be Javi and McGonigal? And there's been a couple games where he hasn't started this season. So it's man, is he really being phased out? Absolutely not.
Yeah. Him and McGonigal both right now top 10 in the American League in hits. So absolutely. You'd love to see Keith. You want to say you'd love to see him walk more, but he's getting hits. It's not like he's getting on base a ton. He's gotten multiple hits in many games so far this season. So been one of the few consistent guys in this lineup. I would say him and McGonigal have been the lone two super consistent hitters every game. Dingler he's reaching that territory, but every game you can count on Keith and McGonigal right now, which is very nice to get from two guys that you probably wouldn't have expected that coming into this season.
I think Dingler's in that group.
He probably is.
Simply because he's hitting home runs at a more frequent basis too. I'll live with a little bit less inconsistency if it means you're hitting home runs more often. 989-837-6125. Who's been the most impressive Tiger so far? This is the Ben Bosscher Show. We're live here on 100.9 The Minute. Your dream